West Metro edition of Varsity. I'm Ryan Aber, joined by Scott Wright. Scott, an exciting game in this district last week. We had UConn and Mustang who totaled up 100 points between them. Is this the thing where Mustang is glad they scored 53 or disappointed they allowed 47?
A little bit of both, obviously. Glad they scored 53 and not 46, I guess.
Yeah.
The offense was there when they needed it. The run game was, I think, probably the thing that really impressed me the most. With 4 new offensive linemen alongside Bronson Irwin, you didn't really know what you were going to have in that offensive line. They showed that they can move some people around and run the ball when they need to. And then the passing game was as efficient as you would expect for what Mustang has been doing the last few years. The defense was the big question, particularly the secondary. Gave up 431 passing yards to a sophomore quarterback playing his first varsity game. So obviously some concerns there. But inserting David Glidden into the cornerback spot, I think is going to make a big difference. He kind of helped to slow things down a little bit. They didn't get the big plays the way that they did, in the first half after he came in. So, that could, however, impact the offense a little bit because he's going to have to rest sometime. He's on the field all the time anyway, so you got to get that guy a little bit of rest. Yeah,
is that something that they're going to have to stick with, putting Glidden on defense for significant amounts of time?
At this point, it looks like that's going to be the case. They had a junior and a sophomore that they tried at that other cornerback spot, and things just didn't work out in the first half. So at least for now, until they get one of those guys or somebody else who they're comfortable with, they actually tried Braden Wisely at a cornerback in the preseason, and he's really more suited for that safety / linebacker type of hybrid role, which is what he's playing now. So that's they kind of got guys where they need them right now. If they can get somebody else to step up at that other cornerback spot and take Glidden's place, they'd really rather have him on the offensive side of the ball as much as possible.
And then PC and PC North face off this week. PC, I think, gave up more points than they expected to last week. PC North put up a bunch against PC West. How do you see this game shaking out?
Well, it's going to be interesting because that PC defense, I think, is probably better than what they showed. They have, just like Mustang, some questions in the secondary. They gave up a few big plays, had a couple of busts that left some guys running wide open for touchdowns in the second half that allowed Choctaw to stay in that game. And keep it within a 3-point margin. Putnam City North, I think, ran the ball better than maybe a lot of people expected them to because they are so much smaller on the offensive line than they've been in the last few years.
And they lost their 2 best running backs from last year.
Exactly, and they're going to a guy who really had very little varsity experience in Sam Wolf, who is a really pretty talented kid and went for 161 and 2 scores. So that's going to be the interesting thing. I think that Putnam City is more geared to stop the run anyway, so we'll see what Putnam City North can do. Jace James is really kind of the guy. Both quarterbacks played last week, but Jace James is really the guy that has kind of won that job. It's his to lose, really, at this point. So we'll see what he can do against that Putnam City secondary.
All right, Scott, and I know you'll be out there for that game. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Join us every day, every week at newsok.com/varsity for the best high school coverage anywhere.